With environmental issues at the forefront of many of today's concerns, the interest in leading an eco-friendly lifestyle is growing. People are turning to various green building techniques and technologies that are both sustainable and energy efficient. As an insulating material for homes and offices, cellulose has been in existence since the 1930s.
Cellulose is one of the oldest building insulations, and despite its established, time-proven effectiveness, many builders, architects, and homeowners are just not aware of the multiple benefits of cellulose versus fiberglass insulation.
As a leading manufacturer and distributor of cellulose insulation, National Fiber is broadening awareness and increasing the usage of this material.
With advances in the manufacturing process, cellulose has now one of the highest R-value insulating materials you can use in your home. With the rising awareness of green building, cellulose insulation is also your most environmental choice.
Comprised of 83% recycled materials, primarily from overissue newspapers that are free from trash and debris, cellulose insulation creates an exceptional thermal barrier.
Compared with other insulations, cellulose is the only green, high-performance insulation. It's a naturally superior material for insulation because of its long, flexible, interlocking fibers. These fibers trap millions of pockets of air, and it's the air that provides the insulation. And when this material is dense packed in a wall cavity or a ceiling cavity, it provides a highly effective air barrier and thermal barrier.
40% less energy is needed to heat and cool a home insulated with cellulose.
Cellulose is installed in a building cavity at twice its natural settled density, so it's actually applying slight pressure to the cavity around it, so it completely fills all voids and gaps. Unlike fiberglass, which even when properly installed leaves voids and gaps and allows air to pass readily around it and through it.
This leads to drafty homes, moisture development, and exorbitant energy costs.
Compared with conventional fiberglass, cellulose is superior as a thermal barrier, an air barrier, a sound barrier, and a fire barrier. On top of that, the embodied energy, the energy needed to make the product, is 25 times as great with fiberglass as it is with cellulose. And in terms of recycled content, fiberglass has virtually none, while cellulose is comprised of 83% recycled materials.
Foam insulation is made from petroleum and has 40 times the embodied or manufactured energy of cellulose insulation. Spray foams, when they're installed, the excess needs to be trimmed off and taken to the landfill. With spray applied cellulose, any overspray is trimmed off and recycled and sprayed further down the line.
In addition to being eco-friendly, cellulose insulation is one of the safest materials used in the construction industry.
During the manufacturing process, cellulose is reduced to a highly porous fiber, and then that fiber is infused with a mineral borate. And it's actually that borate that gives cellulose its excellent fire retardancy. The borate also helps repel insects and inhibits mold growth.
In the event of a fire, fiberglass melts, allowing flames to spread very quickly. With foam insulation, it produces significant amounts of toxic smoke. Cellulose, on the other hand, slows the progression of fire, allowing the occupants time to escape and limiting the amount of fire damage.
With more consumers seeking green products, the insulation industry is slowly recognizing the advantages of using cellulose.
The good news story about cellulose is that it's really the choice for consumers who are interested in saving money year after year and looking for a real green alternative with its 80+% recycled content.
Sustainability begins with energy efficiency and conservation, and no other insulation blocks heat transfer, airflow, manages moisture, attenuates sound, blocks the spread of fire, repels vermin, or inhibits the growth of mold as well as cellulose does.
To learn more about this story, please visit www.nationalfiber.com.